Good morning, everybody. I'm Teresa Perrin, and this is my stock market watch list for Wednesday, December 21st, 2022. If you could, all I ask is that you smash that like button as it helps out with the algorithms. Please remember that nothing I say is financial advice, and this is not an advisement to tell you to buy, sell, or hold any of these stocks. These are just the stocks that I think have the biggest probability of making moves today. Let's get started. COSM. Okay, guys, I expect there to be an announcement this morning that they completed the offering, in which case I believe that will be the catalyst that makes COSM have its next move up. And I do expect that today could be a potential banger for this stock. However, we shall see, because we all know when we have expectations what tends to happen. But it is high on my watch list for that move today. HTGM. Okay, guys, if you follow me on Twitter, I announced that this had a massive move to the upside. See right here in the after hours. And that was because they announced that they're going to do a 1-for-12 stock split, which came as a surprise. Now, guys, they did that and they tanked it, which I'm completely shocked by, only because the fact is this company now has less than 1 million tradable shares. That's not even the free float. That's total less than 1 million shares. The free float's even less. So I believe that this has the potential to make a massive move to the upside once it gets going. It will be on my radar, and I suggest everybody keep a close eye on this today, because with that small of a float, they can easily manipulate this price in either direction. SONN. All right, guys, this has been on my radar for probably a month or two now, and I've just been watching it sit literally around $1 for all that time. And then all of a sudden yesterday it dipped, followed by a move to the upside. As you can see, it was up 10% yesterday and up an additional 5.66% in the after hours. I would watch this to see if it makes a move, because I think it's found its bottom. It consolidated for a long period of time and it's ready. HLBZ. All right. Helbiz, no surprise, this is one of my favorite tickers, guys, and I have just been accumulating. I bought a bunch more yesterday. I highly recommend that everybody keeps this on their radar today. I am expecting this to go back to 20 cents and then try to test that 34 breakout. If it breaks through 34, you better believe it's going to go back up into the 50s, and hopefully it can get naturally to $1 plus. At one time, this stock, believe it or not, was trading above $40. CABA, C-A-B-A. Okay. Those of you that are not familiar with my Twitter page, I highly recommend you follow it, or that didn't watch the videos I put out on this. I am going to make another one today, so keep an eye out for it. There is a gap fill that I am watching for that we are in the process of filling. It started at $7.20 and it goes to 11 something. I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head. But way back when I started trading this at 80 cents and I didn't give price targets, but as we got closer, I said, all right, one step closer, the stock's going to go the double digits. That's why. Keep an eye on this. It could make a significant move today. TAL, same reason that this, oh, by the way, CABA was my pick of the week this week in Stock Talk Weekly's space that I participate in every week. But TAL was my pick of the week last week, and I would have picked it again this week, except I decided on a rule that I no longer will pick the same stock 2 weeks in a row. One, because I already gave it to people and my thesis, and obviously it still holds valid if it hasn't completed. And that way I can, introduce more stocks that I like and I'm paying attention to. But also because a lot of times there's a pullback, right? Well, guys, TAL has just been on an absolute rip. And to be honest with you, a lot of times in pre-market, they bring TAL and TME down before they push it back up. However, this morning, it looks like it's going to the green. And that could be because, guys, we are looking at a gap fill. Once we get to that 956, it has space to run all the way to fill that gap up to $19.63. And you better believe that it's going to get there, because I am a firm believer that this stock is going to absolutely rip, and it could be today or tomorrow or next week. I'm not really sure. Let's see what they do with it. But guys, you better believe a big move is coming in TAL. Don't say I didn't warn you. CEI had a reverse stock split, a 1 for 50 last night. 427 is where it should have opened at. And as you can see, we're actually moving to the upside. Guys, I have to be honest, this is quite surprising. Please be very cautious with this ticker. It is not favored by Wall Street, and they love to push it down. So after this 1 for 50 split, I'm going to be honest, I think right now they're trying to trap retail. But could it run? Absolutely it could. But please, please use caution and use a stop loss if you're playing CEI. Snap, SNAP. Okay, there's been a lot of news going on about the government banning TikTok on its devices, and I think that they're going to eventually ban TikTok altogether in the US, or at least attempt to. That being said, I think that Snap, Pins, and Meta are your top choices for that. Personally, I'm watching Snapchat this week because it's pulled back to almost its all-time lows, and I think it's just ready to make a move to the upside. There was also a significant buy in options for the end of January. And they were either at or slightly out of the money, but they were very close, guys. So I expect to see significant moves coming in Snap based on that. Somebody always knows something. SoFi. All right, SoFi has been on my radar this week. As you can see, it made a very nice move yesterday. If you follow me on Twitter, I called it out. And it's pulled back. And that was just the rest of the market doing the same thing. Now I'm watching for it to break through that high. Ultimately, I want to see SoFi trade above $5. I want to see it break this high, get above 5, and keep on going. It has been very suppressed, and I think there's a lot of room for it to move. Oops, sorry, I was checking out again because there were issues this morning where you couldn't trade it initially, CEI, on Robinhood, but it was fixed very quickly. I will give them credit for that, but it never should have happened to begin with, and I thought it was going to be another HTGM. All right, FWBI. Guys, this had some really strange movements up and down yesterday. It feels like it's being very suppressed. It tried to break out. They immediately shot it down. I'm watching today because sometimes when I see that kind of movement, the next day is followed by a big move as they continue loading their shares or maybe closing their short positions. I don't know what they're doing in that time frame, but when I've seen this in the past, it's led to a big move. So FWBI is back on my radar. Again, no promises, anything can happen. BBIG. All right, there's a reason that I have this on my radar today, and that is because Eric Finman has been taunting a space call with big news that he's changed the time of multiple times now. Well, supposedly that call is going to take place today at noon if he hasn't changed it again. So, guys, depending on what he says, BBIG could get a big move in one direction or the other, and I think it's worthy of being on people's radar. Vero, VERO, Venus Concepts, is up 46.83% in pre-market, and that's because they announced that they received F10 clearance, or 510K clearance, whatever that is, for use of its AI.me next generation robotic technology for fractional skin resurfacing. And they're introducing first AI.me systems with Venus Concepts leading physician partners in 2023. So apparently that's huge news. Guys, I'm going to caution you with this. They do have a shelf on the table to do an offering, and I would expect that they would need money. So be careful. This gets a run, and I'm pretty certain you're going to see an offering drop. I'm not saying that, you should or shouldn't trade it, but I'm saying use caution. ICCM. All right, we've been talking about this because, guys, recently, after hours, this made a run to $11 the day that it announced that they, I think it was either good results from their clinical trial. Go back in my videos and you can see on my radar, my watch list, because I did talk about it. But it pulled back quite significantly, as I said it would. If you followed me on Twitter, I told people not to fall for that trap because they were going to tank it, which they did. Now, is it done coming down, or is it ready to make its next leg? I'm going to be honest, I'm very curious about the technology that they're using for cancer treatment. It's using I think it's called cryogenesis or cryokinetics, something like that. But it's where they use like cold to burn off the tumor. So I'm very intrigued, but I'm not entering this. I don't have a position at this time. I'm watching it because I want it to find its bottom and wait for its next leg up. And finally, Nike, NKE had earnings yesterday. Check this out. They are up 11.37%. It was an earnings beat, which was a surprise to the market, and they reacted very positively. Now, did they try to bring it down in pre-market to try to, drain money from those options? That clearly went in the money if people were betting on good news from Nike. So keep an eye on this for a move in either direction, guys. It could continue a strong move to the upside. We've seen that. Look at Moderna lately. Anyways, the top gainers today are VERO, which we talked about, LASE. I'm not sure if that's a sympathy play because it's a laser photonics company, so maybe it does something similar. ADCT, CACO, and CACO I've been seeing up and down recently. EFOI is the other. Top losers: MNPR, OP, CYAD, CORZ, LANV. Sorry, I froze. Most active: ICCM, Wish, CLVSQ, DNA, and CSK. Wish, guys, is another one that I think is getting close to finding its bottom. I'm keeping an eye on that one because when it does, this traded at $30 a couple years ago. It's at 50 cents. That's embarrassing. But it's the market in general. It's not just Wish. I mean, look at a lot of stocks are like that. But I believe Wish was another pump by Atlas Trading along with CEI. All right. Technical analysis, top list. This is technically stocks that look like they're ready for a breakout. SMFG, TGB, VIV, ATUS, and YPF. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. By the way, expect volume to be relatively low the remainder of the week as we get closer to Christmas. A lot of people take off, so don't be